It's GAMMAVERSE. May the strong unite and the weak disperse. VeVe's in the league no one's seen on this earth, and we stand as a league because we believed in it first. Listen up, listen up, listen up. I got some big news from my homies and my old Mets. Super seismic news. Omi gang, the art colossus known as Kaws, I think we got him. So check this. I was on IG the other day just to stay updated with any potential VeVe news when I then decided to check the page of Kaws, who is one of my all-time favorite artists and one of the best contemporary artists to ever exist. As you can see, he's damn near 3.5 million followers deep. I just wanted to see the latest art that he may have posted when I noticed not one, but two key IG accounts that I know following Kaws. VeVe and David f***ing U. I don't know if you guys understand how big this is. Now, if David was the only one following him, then it would have raised a couple eyebrows, but that could have fallen under him just being a fan of his artwork. But VeVe also following Kaws?
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Now, if you're not familiar with Kaws, don't worry, I got you. But I'm almost certain you're gonna find out you're more familiar with his work than you thought. But before we go down that road, let me finish telling you what I discovered. Now, this is David U in a video from 2 years ago, one of the earliest videos on the ecomi YouTube page. The video consists of David showing what his latest collectibles were. And what was the first collectible he brings up?
I want to show you this new puppy I just received.
That's right, Big Dog Kaws. Now let's hear what he has to say about the collectible.
This is a very hard. I had to line up for like 40 minutes to get this into my hand. So that's going on my shelf with all my other Kaws I have. It's one of my favorite artists.
Now, a couple things to take from this. One, David said that Kaws is one of his favorite artists. Two, he said that that Kaws piece will be going with all his other Kaws pieces, meaning that he's an avid collector of Kaws. And last but not least, CEO David U waited in a 40-minute line for that collectible. CEO David U waited in line for 40 minutes for a collectible. That sounds like some damn dedication to me. Now, in my previous video, I showed a tweet that Reese wrote explaining how they do tend to see a lot of the things that David collects making it to VeVe. And I also talked about how Godfather Khan can get any license he desires, but it only gets deeper from here. When I was on Kaws' IG page, I saw this recent post, and what the hell do I see on the far left? A Kaws collectible in AR, with a caption that reads, "Some works are easier to install than others," and the hashtag augmented reality. Then I saw he tagged a page called Acute Art, so I decided to see what that was about. Come to find out, Acute Art is an app that allows you to see what art from notable artists would look like in AR, Kaws being one of them. That's how he was able to create that image. Kaws even made a video of his collectible floating above the Brooklyn Nets court at the Barclays Center behind NBA All-Star Kevin Durant. Now my interest was peaking, so I went back to Acute Art's IG page, and guess who follows Acute Art? David and Kaws.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right.
Now let's talk about Kaws and how he became the art behemoth that he is today. Kaws, whose real name is Brian Donnelly, is from New Jersey City, New Jersey. As an introverted kid, he started sketching in his notebook to pass time when he wasn't interested in class, which we all probably did. But his passion for art didn't stop there. When he got to his early 20s, he moved to Manhattan, New York and found interest in graffiti art, where he would start spray painting his art on buildings and walls, which is technically vandalism and against the law, but we're not gonna talk about that. Soon people started to see those 4 letters pop up everywhere. As far as the name Kaws, I'll let Brian Donnelly explain how that came about.
I just wanted to think of letters that sort of interacted with each other in a good way, and purely a visual thing, how KWS connects. And I like the fact that it didn't exist. It didn't have, like, it wasn't a thing, and just sort of lettering that works. And I like the sound. It was like a short, strong mark.
There you go. Artistic expression in all forms. Kaws eventually ended up getting a key that could open up ad poster cases on the side of phone booths and bus shelters. He would unlock the ad poster, take it home, work on it overnight, and bring it back the next day with his artwork on it. Again, technically still vandalism, but who cares? In fact, I'll tell you who didn't. The companies whose ads he drew on. His work was so clean that the companies actually started adhering to his work, often just keeping it on the ads. Some of Kaws' most famous characters that he illustrates are Bendy, Chum, who resembles the Michelin Man, BFF, who resembles Elmo, and Companion, who resembles Mickey Mouse, and is his most notable character. Kaws has said the reason why he uses familiar looking characters is because for the line of work that he does, in order for his work to exist, it has to be on a host that already exists. The infamous X-Eyes, Skull, and Crossbones, which you would usually see in old school cartoons, began to be synonymous with Kaws, as he put his style to it and made it his own. His reputation rapidly grew when his art on ads started to appear everywhere in New York. Not to mention, Kaws' art on a technical level is some of the best to ever be seen on this earth. Kaws has some of the best line work of all time, and that is not something easy to accomplish. For example, this is an art piece he painted called Where the End Starts. Just look at how clean it is. This don't even look like a hand drew this, it look computer generated. You ever try drawing a clean ass line? It's like trying to snipe a bullet through a wedding ring. Good luck. Let's listen to what a fellow art colleague has to say about his technical art ability.
Kaws' lines are all perfection. He knows how he wants this art to feel, he knows how he wants you to feel, and he's a complete master over what he's doing.
Recognize him? That's right. Ron English had his first drop on VeveVerse not too long ago, letting you know how Kaws is an earth-cracking heavyweight. Kaws' career would hit another breakthrough when in 1999 he happened to meet a toy designer in Tokyo by the name of Hikaru Iwanaga, where he then created his first rendition of his companion character, and then started selling those to the local collectible stores on consignment. Then in 2002, he started his own website where he began to sell his figures online and they would fly out of stock. Now, Kaws has also done toy collabs with reputable brands such as Disney, Star Wars, Astro Boy, and even Bear Brick, who I covered in my previous video. And as far as prices, let's hear about the price ranges of Kaws collectibles.
The 4-foot companion roughly fetches for around $30,000 to $40,000 in auctions, and his small scale limited edition collectibles range anywhere from $100 to $25,000.
Yeah, don't need to go any further there. Moving forward, let's listen to what else my man has to say.
Most of these I acquired back in 2013, so a few years after its release.
Hold it. Now my man's done put on white gloves. You know it's real when somebody put on white gloves before picking something up. No games are being played.
For some, Kaws' work means more than mere collecting.
Kaws helped me become who I am as a person and define my career path, so.
Now did y'all hear this man? He said Kaws helped him define his career path and become who he is as a person. Yeah, shit ain't no game. As a matter of fact, Kaws' influence has been so massive that it's bled over to music, clothing, shoes, you name it. Kanye West's 808s and Heartbreak cover? Guess who has something to do with that? The artwork for Travis Scott and Kid Cudi's single The Scotch? Guess who has something to do with that? Drake's Tootsie Slide video? Guess whose figures were in the corner of his home? Swiss Beats, a Grammy Award-winning producer who has produced for legends such as Jay-Z and the late great DMX, had a 19-foot companion statue constructed in his home from Kaws. Now, how much he paid for that, I'm not sure if I even want to know. But it don't stop there. That's light work. In 2012, Macy's commissioned him to do a 41-foot parade balloon for their Thanksgiving Day parade. A year later, MTV requested Kaws to take over the VMAs by taking the signature Moon Man Awards that were going to be given to the winners that night and putting his own spin to it. So whoever won awards that year is lucky as hell. He also had a 60-foot inflatable version of his Moon Man suspended in the middle of the crowd. I mean, I could just keep going with this. And I will. May 2018, Kaws put a permanent 26-foot sculpture called Seeing/Watching in Changsha, a city in China in the Hunan province, on top of the Changsha IFS building. Millions of people stopped by during the first week of its release to witness the artwork. March 2019, Kaws left a 121-foot inflatable companion he named Holiday floating in the Victoria Harbor in Hong Kong. Why? Because he's Kaws, that's why. The following month, he left another giant companion on the shore of Virginia Beach for all to see during Pharrell Williams' Something's in the Water Festival. Do you see how bizarre this looks? This shit looks photoshopped. Kaws is the caliber of artist where he doesn't ask permission to leave his art anywhere. They accept it. Now lastly, let's talk about some of his paintings that got sold at auction. Strap in. 2002, a piece called In the Woods sold for $3.9 million. 2003, Kempson's number 3, $2.2 million. Exact same year, another Kempson sold for another $2.2 million. 2004, a painting called Fatal Group sold for $2.3 million. Also in 2004, the Kempson's number 1, $7.4 milli. 2008, a piece called Curve Hot Dog sold for $2.6 million. A year later, another Curve piece called Tangle, $2.7 million. 2012, The Walk Home, $6 million. 2014, a painting titled Armed Away, $3 million. And the biggest one yet, back in 2005, he sold his highest selling piece called the Kaws album for $14.8 million. This is still a living, breathing artist we're talking about. So I say all that to say this. If Kaws ever drops on VeveVerse and you happen to obtain a first appearance of a Kaws piece, your life will no longer be the same from that point forward. Well, that's all I got for now. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll have more heat coming soon. Stay seismic.